Hello and happy weekend. I got my meds all back up in my system, so I'm feeling a lot better. So today I wanted to talk about a couple of things. First, I wanted to talk about how when following Jesus, it's a lot of times you feel like it's like putting the cart ahead of you. I think I'm not saying that right, so I'll just explain. God will call you to do something when you're not prepared, and you have to accept that challenge and say yes, and then He prepares you. So in this case, that's exactly what God did. So I reached out to a councilman, and thank God for people with just hearts like Jesus. And I'm just a nobody, right? And this councilman met with me, and he heard me out, and I got the opportunity to speak at the town council city meeting, right? And I've never done anything like that, and I felt 100% unqualified and not prepared or anything, right? And I was really scared about it. And then I got into the hands with the right doctor. God just put me exactly where I needed to be, and the doctor ran blood work immediately, and I got all the results this morning. And I have a few things that came back abnormal. But the one thing that I wanted to address was I've never had any health issues with food and stuff my whole life. Dante and I, since Amber left, all we ever ate was produce and fish almost every night. We barely ever touched meat, and barely ever ate carbs. If we did, it would be like rice noodles. I would juice every twice a week, just 3 days of juice and then 4 days of juice, all fresh juices, right? And then when we got, I lost my job and we got food stamps. The first 6 months, it was $327 a month. And then that was when I got unemployment. And when I went to zero income, it was it's been $530 a month. So we survive on food pantries, and we can't afford produce or anything healthy, right? So I just got my blood work back, and my cholesterol is through the roof. And I've been asking God lately why I feel like I'm getting sicker and sicker, and I've been having a ton of vision issues, shortness of breath, all this chest pain, weakness, all this stuff. A lot of days that I'm sleeping 20 hours a day, all this stuff, and I'm like, God, I feel like I'm having all this neurological stuff. So when I got my blood work back, one of the things that was off is my cholesterol is literally through the roof. It's very high levels, levels that are in the high risk level, that close to stroke levels, right? And it's because on these levels of surviving on food stamps and food pantries, you're very malnutritioned, and you cannot eat healthy, right? So what I'm speaking on in City Town Council is the lack of the ability to eat nutritious meals and survive on food stamps and pantries, and really fighting for the businesses to donate their food, for the cafeterias to have the school lunchrooms to get waivers in place that they could donate the food for the kids to take home. And it's all about the hunger in Geneva, right? So I wasn't prepared to speak about this, but after I got back my results and then looked up what high cholesterol does and how it causes vision issues and causes shortness of breath and could cause stroke and cause all these things, and the way to fix it is by eating healthy, which we literally don't have the ability to do. And especially having a 13-year-old son who's very athletic, who eats everything all the time. I go without a lot of stuff to make sure he could eat right. So I said yes already to going and speaking, and then God gave me these test results to fill me with this real passion, and to now include at the city town meeting that, hey, after a year of living on food stamps and stuff, Me, someone that's never had these types of health issues, now I have cholesterol levels through the roof because of the malnutrition that comes from living on food stamps. And I could really explain to them how the way food stamps are calculated, they don't consider a car payment, a bill. They don't consider any housing costs over $1,000. Like if you rent any dollar over $1,000 or a mortgage over $1,000 is considered a luxury. So even if your rent's $1,500, they still consider that $500 income, not rent. They don't consider gas and electric. They don't consider car insurance, cell phones. If you have health insurance bills, nothing, right? And so you could have a $2,000 income, but then none of your bills are considered, and they'll just say you have $2,000, and you could be like, hey, my mortgage is $2,000, right? So I'm able to break down how things are calculated, and anybody could look up. Everyone's always complaining, tax dollars pay for that, but if you look it up, 1.5% of tax dollar bills is what goes to paying SNAP benefits, and it's actually the lowest of all taxes is what SNAP goes to. Every single, I'm not sure if I'm wording that correctly, but the lowest thing that our taxes pay for are SNAP benefits. It's the lowest thing of everything, and it's a 50-50 split between federal and tax, your federal and your state, right? It's a 50-50 split. So the government is literally putting the least amount of tax dollars into SNAP benefits. And even if they cut off SNAP benefits tomorrow, they're not going to put that money back in your pockets. Your taxes are going to things way less beneficial than feeding people that can't work, right? So he now has prepared me with all these facts, with all this passion, and to go there feeling so bold, so passionate, and to go there to speak. It's my honor now to go there and present this and to try to make a difference for people in situations like mine. I literally couldn't even work one day a week for even an hour at this point in my life. And so he really does give you the calling, you accept it, and then he prepares you. And I couldn't feel more bold, more confident, more encouraged, and more prepared for this calling now, right? And it's my intention now to go to every city town council meeting, and I've asked 7 people that agreed to go. I've asked them all to speak, whether they all do or don't, but they all feel passionately about it too. But getting those results is just, one more thing for me to be able to say. And it was also good to know that this is not part of my neurological condition. Moving on from that topic, my MVP levels are high, which means my blood platelets are very large, which could lead to blood clotting. My bone marrow is producing really large clots. That could mean a lot of things, but I'm not going to play doctor because God already gave me the doctor that he wants me with, and God's moving mountains and taking care of everything, and could mean something really bad, but whatever it is, God's the God of the impossible, and he got me exactly where I need to be, and I've gotten more help in one visit with this doctor than a whole year, and God is so good. So I'm gonna do a quick reading for you guys. I'm thankful for just getting this blood work, and there's some other things that are pretty high. My chloride is really high, and that's from salt because I now have to eat a lot of ramen noodles and canned goods, and those are all really high in salt, so I'll be bringing that up too. I used to eat nothing from a can and cooked everything fresh, so now eating a lot of pre-meat stuff and things like that again. That all ties in with having to eat from food pantries and affording what I can on the SNAP benefits. So again, that just ties into speaking at the city council meeting, so that's something else I'll bring up. But you know, God is so good, and he sees all of this. And I got the bone density test next week to see if this platelet thing ties into that. But also what was really good to know, these nonstop migraines 24/7 and vision disturbances and a lot of these other issues, the dizziness, the vertigo, that's all coming back. That also ties into the high cholesterol and also the high MVP levels I have. So all of this is not neurological. It's not me falling back into this neurological stuff. I'm just getting triple whammy hit by these other things, right? But God is so good. I cleared out my physical therapy room, and I put a mirror there so I could watch my movements. And, you know, in 3 weeks, my bone meds go up to twice a day. So I'm in a level 7 to 10 pain every second of every day with bone pain. And I was told that I'm going to be able to get to a level of comfort, and to hear after a year of that bone pain not being addressed, to hear that I'm actually going to be comfortable and that not living in chronic pain is like, you know what I mean? And it was so amazing too. I spoke to one of my Christian brothers yesterday, totally met him by divine connection, and I work at the food giveaway with him, which I'm actually working there tomorrow. So when I was sitting on the beach yesterday talking to God, I said, God, I feel like a kid on Christmas morning. You gave me the right doctor. The doctor said in 1 week I'll be in with neurology. Got me right in with a referral for the movement specialist for the bone density. Got me right in with blood work with all this blood stuff I should have been being tested for this whole year and monitored with. These testings I haven't had in a year, and these were all things making me much sicker. So I'll just be on the up slope, and I feel so much more confident now with my surgery that I was very afraid of, because that's going to put me in bed for about 3 months. But now I could work with my neurologist and my doctor that are 2 doors away to have a treatment plan that they could put me on some meds now for those 3 months to help with all the neurological stuff, so I won't be in 3 months of seizures and extra pain, to get me through that, and with the physical therapist coming to my house to get me out of bed and still moving so I don't regress, right? So I have a whole team that God is orchestrating for me, and that all came through surrender. And had I have tried to do it myself, you know what I mean, what I could do in the natural isn't, you know, a fingernail of what God could do. So you want to keep surrendering. You never want to settle. You want to give it up to God, because God's plans are always the best for your life. So I'm just moving forward in confidence and boldness, and there's a long road to recovery ahead. I'm trying to flip my book to the page. It's August 29th. So even though there's a lot of time in bed ahead, and the physical therapy is gonna take a lot of energy out of me and cause a lot of pain, so it'll still be a year of mostly in bed, but it will be a year of refinement and health and recovery, and every single day it's getting me closer to fully healed. And God is good. God is so good. And you know, I see all the areas he's still working on that, you know, even with my old doctor, I wanted to call him and be like, hi, you know, so I know that's an area God still has to work on in me. And it was just, that doctor was going to leave me to suffer and leave me in an immense amount of pain. And he was he was talking to me very rudely and using his big boy voice and trying to overtalk me. And I felt very bullied. And, the person in me that wasn't refined wanted to just be like, just like, I got a good doctor now and, you can't hurt me. But that's not God's ways, right? So that would have been wrong of me. So I have a year still, a lot of time with Jesus in bed to keep getting refined. So God's still working on me and still good. So even though the storm, still has a ways to go, God's seeing me through, and every day just building my faith and giving me that mountain moving faith. And I just can't wait for the next year to see who I come out being. And I know the promises he has for me. So I know it's just going to be a beautiful outcome. So even though there's some tough times ahead, I know who holds my future, and I'm excited to see where he brings me. I'm excited to see what doors he opens. I'm excited to see, the future that he has waiting for me, right? And I'll have his grace every step along the way. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. There's going to be a lot of pain involved. There's going to be a lot of crying, a lot of anguish. But who I come out the other end being will be who God made me to be. So, it's a storm that I would never take back, and that's God's honest truth. So I'm going to do this reading, and then I'm going to sign off and enjoy my day. So August 29th is called More Grace. You tend to forget my grace. You receive my mercy, but fail to accept my grace. My desire is that you would allow my grace to fill you to the full. Sorry, I'm still having quite a bit of talking issues, but I told you guys I do a video every day, and I'm loving myself in every stage. So I'm gonna do my best. Until you overflow, I want you to know my love for you in ways you can't imagine. My grace shows up when you look to me for all you need. My resources are limitless, but your lack of faith limits them in your circumstances. I don't require your life, your behaviors and actions to be perfect for you to receive my grace. I only require you to have faith in me. I only ask that you come to me and allow me to love you completely, with your failures, faults, and everything in between. I have made you. I will perfect you, and I will take you from glory to glory as you live your life from faith to faith. Do not put any distance between us, simply because you know that you've fallen short of my glory. Draw near to me at all times, good and bad, and receive my grace. The favor I will always give you, even when you least deserve it. He gives us more grace. That is why Scripture says, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. James 4:6. And a humble heart is important. I don't take credit for any of it. Without God's mercy and grace and walking me through this, this is a storm I couldn't weather one single day of on my own. The glory goes all to God. I haven't done anything other than a couple physical therapy sessions and one counseling session, but the day I get in with my neurologist will be the first actual help with my neurological condition I've received treatment for the first time in a year. And all my healing since day one, since being paralyzed from the neck down, has been directly from God and prayer alone. And God is good every single day, and keep praising Him through every storm. I spend quite a bit of each day with a very bad stutter or Tourette's, or speaking quite slow or unable to speak. There's bits of the day that I can speak, but about 80% of most days it's quite a struggle, so I choose the times I do my videos for the times that I'm speaking well. So most people don't know how unhealthy I am, but the people around me each day do. But I'm learning to navigate through every part of every symptom, every flare-up, and to live through it all and keep going. And even when I can't talk, I'm learning to still, go up to a counter or into a doctor's office and still, as slow as I talk or as much as I stutter, I don't put any pressure on myself or any embarrassment, and I just, as long as it takes me to get my thought out, hey, that's me in that time, and I just keep my cool and I get through it. And the more I keep talking during the times I can't talk, and keep trying, eventually it keeps coming back. So every symptom I have, I keep pushing into it. I don't allow my brain to release cortisol. I don't get embarrassed. I don't get hard on myself. I don't love or like myself less. I don't feel anything negative towards myself. I keep loving myself. I don't love or like myself less, whether I'm speaking slow or stuttering or in Tourette's. And I just say, Ash, this is where you're at now, and whether I have to publicly speak and I get speaking disturbances, or get them on my videos, or they happen mid-conversations with people, I just keep it going. God doesn't call just healthy people to speak. You could be Down syndrome, autistic, stuttering, talking slow, it doesn't matter. God calls the broken. You know what I mean? You got mental illness, physical illness, whatever it is, and you just keep pushing through, and God's gonna honor that. You don't hide from the world and only show up on good days. You don't only do God's work when you're healthy or non-systematic. You just keep pushing through, and He's gonna honor that and say, hey, you went up and you did public speaking with your stutter. Hey, you broke out into Tourette's for a minute, but you kept speaking. You didn't walk off, and you'll get out of that. But if you release cortisol, that's you not loving and liking yourself, who you are at that moment. But whether I'm talking slow or fast and articulating things clearly, or I sound autistic or like I have Down syndrome, I'm still me and still perfectly made, and I'm still the exact woman He wants me to be in that minute, because He could go like that and heal it all and stop it all. So if that's how He has me in that moment, that's how He wants me in that moment. So, you just keep pressing on, and God's gonna honor that, So no such thing as a bad day, and you just keep living, because you're gonna be in pain whether you're in bed or whether you're being productive and living. But every day of your life, it's a day the Lord has made. So you could choose joy and happiness, or you could choose to have a pity party. You could choose to wait till you feel better and let days pass. But during this year, I've had many of days of joy and happiness, and many of days that were good days, and many of days that by forcing myself to push through, the day got better. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have a good day despite having some elevated pain levels and stuff today. I'm just gonna rock out, and I got Adam for a long holiday weekend, so I'm gonna make the best of it and stay out of bed, because every day you're in bed it takes 2.5 days to recover. So we're our own worst enemies. So I'm gonna be my own biggest cheerleader. Jesus is my number one cheerleader, but I'm gonna be my number two cheerleader. And I hope that everyone stays their own number two cheerleader and keeps fighting for themselves and their recovery and teaming up with Jesus and living. You gotta live through it all, and one day you'll be healed, and you'll be thankful that you didn't lay around and you still made the best of every day. Because it's worth it. It's worth being the best version of yourself for your children, for your partner, and for yourself, for your calling. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get strong, and I'm gonna travel. And when I mentioned going to Africa to my doctor, he looked at me like I was crazy, and he's like, you can't, what if something happens when you're there? And he looked in such disbelief as I could barely speak my entire appointment. And I said, I'll be there with Jesus, so God's going to raise me up. And you know what? It's going to be amazing. And if he does it for one person, he'll do it for everyone. And I want to change the odds of F&D having a 20% success rate over the course of 7 years. I want to reverse those numbers, make it an 80% success rate, and let's knock down those 7 years, right? You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that way. So God is good, and have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to get some physical activity in, and I'm going to be down at the lake tomorrow and the next day, and you know what? It's going to hurt whether I'm in a float on the lake or laying in bed, but one creates memories and one doesn't. So you choose. Bye.